You are going to be solving long division problems that have remainders and that are part of a story problem. And what you have to be able to do is interpret what the story problem is actually asking for and how to use the remainder. So we're going to be solving this problem. The library has 933 magazines. Each bin holds 15 magazines. And there are three possible questions you could ask that deal with the remainder. A, how many bins does the library need? B, how many magazines will be in the partially filled bin? And C, how many full bins will the library have? So we're doing one with these three choices just because you need to think about all the different ways you could possibly answer the question. So take a second and get this problem written down, and then we will solve the problem. Okay, we are going to solve 933 divided by 15. I'm going to quickly write the multiples of 15 off to the side because it helps me with my division. So I have 15, 30, 45, 60, 75, 90, 105, 120. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of them. I need one more, 135, that's 9. Okay, so I can use those to help me divide. So I know 15 doesn't go into 9. So I'm going to move into the next number and see how many times 15 goes into 93. And I see that 90 is the first one in my list of multiples that doesn't go over 93. And that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. So I'm going to put the 6 above the 93. 6 times 15 is 90. I'm going to subtract, I get 3. Bring down my next number, 15 into 30. I see 33. I see that 30 is the highest multiple I have that does not go over 33, and that is 2 times. So I put the 2 there. 2 times 15 is 30. I subtract, I get 3. And I see that I have a remainder of 3. Okay. So now we have to actually think about what this problem is asking. Let's start with A. A asked, how many bins does the library need? So what you have to do is you have to realize that there are 62 bins and there are 3 magazines left over. So if you interpret that remainder, if you say that you have that 3 left over, that means we need another bin for those 3 magazines, okay? So instead of 62 bins, you would have to say the library will need 63 bins, because you can't just throw those other 3 away that are left over. You have to get a bin to hold those. All right. So then let's look at what the second question was asking. If you look at B, B says how many magazines will be in the partially filled bin. So we know we had 62 full magazines, or bins, I'm sorry, and then that there was 3 left over. You have to realize that you're talking about 15 magazines going into a bin. This 15 that you're dividing by is the number of magazines in a bin. So when you're left with 3, that means there's 3 magazines left over. So to answer B, you would say there will be 3 magazines in the partially filled bin. And then last, we're looking at C. C says, how many full bins will the library have? And we have already talked about this. We know that it went 62 full times. So the answer would be, there will be 62 full bins. So it's a matter of making sure you understand what you're dividing and what the answer represents. If you have 933 total books, magazines, and you're putting them into groups of 15, you have 62 full groups with 3 individual magazines left over. You just have to make sure you understand what you're dividing and what the answer is. And then make sure you're answering the correct question. You won't get all 3 of these in a problem. You'll get one of them and need to know which one you're trying to answer. Okay? Now it's time to practice.